2 quick ways to overcome fear. Hey you guys, Lena K here. In this video, I'm going to go through 2 quick ways to overcome fear. Now, this was a requested topic from one of you. Thank you so much. When it comes to overcoming fear, I think sometimes people misunderstand that they can become someone who just fears nothing. And that's not really the case. It's not about not feeling fear. It's about being able to feel fear and being able to be aware of thoughts that come from a place of fear and riding through it anyway. It's not about not ever being scared or not ever being fearful. It's about being courageous and trusting in yourself enough, even with fear, that you are still boldly moving forward in your life. So these are 2 quick tips for you to overcome fear. We've heard many different, acronyms for fear, like false evidence appearing real, or feel everything and relax. The most important thing is that you are aware. You're consciously aware of your thoughts and your emotions. What that means is that if you're feeling a certain way, you are feeling fearful about something, or you're worried about something, look, anything that doesn't come from a state of love and compassion, it comes from fear. And fear is part of that ego mind. It's part of the survival psyche. It can stop you from moving forward. It can stop you from really maximizing your human potential. Now, there's a difference between danger and fear. There are dangerous situations, dangerous things in this life. There are dangerous people. So that's not really what we're talking about here. We're talking about fear, which comes from the mind. It's not actually true. It's in your imagination. And so once you stop torturing yourself with things that might happen, that haven't yet happened, or that might have happened in the past that you're worried about might happen in the future, once you actually just stop, be still, and become fully aware of what you're thinking, you can then make a decision from a different state. To ask yourself, is this decision or is this thought, is whatever you're doing, whatever you're thinking, whatever you're planning to do, does it come from fear or love? Make your decision coming from a state of love. Love comes from the soul, it comes from the spirit. What does spirit mean? If you actually Google this, if you Google what does spirit mean, this is what comes up. That's the first way. Ask yourself, is this coming from a state of love or fear? Because you get to choose. You really, really do. You get to choose, and then you can alter how you are making that decision. Okay, what would I do if I made that decision based on love? The second way to overcome fear is to follow the fear. What I mean by this is that when I have clients who, or even myself, they are about to make a decision based on fear, or they're going through something and they fear a certain outcome, we follow the fear. And that means, okay, let's follow the fear. What's the worst thing that can happen? And then they tell me that. I've said, okay, and then what happens? So the worst thing has happened, and then what? And then we'll follow where that goes. And then I'll follow that scenario again. Okay, so this has happened, which has led to this. And then what happens then? Then they tell me, and we get to the end of it. So when I was thinking about moving to the US to be with my partner, all this fear came up. Oh, what if this? What if I lose the business? What if we break up? Da, 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 da. So I just followed the fear. I actually journaled this stuff down. I wrote this down so I could see my thoughts. I wrote down, okay, what would be the worst thing that would happen? And I wrote that down. Okay, and then that happens, and then what? And I wrote that down. So I literally followed the fear. Oh, worst thing that can happen, we break up. I lose the business. I go broke. I fly back to the UK. I lose my flat there too. And I live back with my mom. Like, but I'll still be alive. Like, I literally followed the fear. Okay, I'll still be alive. So once I followed the fear, I realized, okay, what would be the decision if I made the decision from a state of love? And that was very obvious, hence why I'm now making this video in Connecticut. An example of making a decision based out of love over fear is a couple of years ago, I was with my sister-in-law. She was like, oh, I fancy going out. And I said, okay. I said, how about, and we were in the UK, and I said to her, how about we go to Brighton, we go to the beach, because I love the beach. I love being by water. And she was like, yeah, cool. And then my mum was like, well, it's nearly sunset, it's gonna be dark. You guys, it's dangerous. What if the car breaks down? All this stuff around fear. Okay, what if the car breaks down, blah, blah, blah. I said, yeah, you're right. We'll just go into central London. So that was the plan. But between the time that we closed the door behind us and we got into the car, I had to ask myself, where is my decision coming from? Fear or love? And really, what would be the choice here? What would be the decision if it came from love? And it was the beach. So we drove down to the beach. We drove an hour there. It was dark by the time we got there. We went to the pier. It was absolutely beautiful. And, you know, we went onto the seaside as well, onto the shore. And it was very dark. And as we laid down, we looked up and we were having a conversation and we saw a shooting star. And I hadn't seen a shooting star in the UK, maybe like forever. I'm used to seeing them in Kurdistan and Iraq, but I haven't seen a shooting star in the UK. And it was such a beautiful experience that we both shared. And I knew in that moment that, oh yes, that shooting star, the only reason I had seen it is because I had followed, you know, love rather than fear. And so those are just very practical, everyday examples of just making decisions coming from a state of love. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you're going to be using these two methods for you to overcome fear as well. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do so. Click the like, drop a comment below and subscribe. And don't forget to press that little bell so you get notified every time I upload a video. Until next time, you guys, lots of love, light and magic to you all.